Natural pesticides for ants, cockroaches, and garden pests. Dr. Robert Cassar, eartheracademy.com. Now, we're in the kitchen here because we're going to make 7 different types of non-chemical, and we got Hodo in the house, right Hodo, the star of the show. 7 different types of insecticides, pesticides, and rodenticides, which of course is if you wanted to get rid of mice or rodents in your house, outside, just a way to be able to not use these super toxic, okay, over the counter. We're going to use over the counter stuff too, but we're going to use all stuff that, well, isn't chemicals and says kills on contact. And we've all used these different types of poisons in our house. I remember my mom spraying for ants in the house, and if you can smell it, that means you're absorbing it. Just remember that. You tell them, Hodo. Okay, if you smell it, when you spray this in the house, right, and you come in even an hour later and you smell this sort of weird smell that comes from this bug spray, you are breathing the off gas. Now, you know, we'll read some of the harmful, as you can say, side effects, okay, of these. They'll tell you basically these things are dangerous. If you get anything on your clothes, if you just anything on your hands, wash yourself. So anything we're going to use in this recipe that I'm going to show you, several recipes, like I said, 7 different recipes, and any of these are just over the counter. Let's just go over these real quick, but let's go through this here. Okay, the print is so small, I got myself a magnifying glass. So on this one here, let's see here. Let's find there's a lot of small print here. Environmental hazards. This product is toxic to wildlife and aquatic invertebrates. Birds and small mammals feeding on the treated bait may be killed. Do not apply directly to water. Why? Because you'll kill the fish. Okay. Do not contaminate by disposal of waste. Do not apply as a landscape treatment to lawns, shrubs, trees, or garden pests. So this is andro, and this, what it does is it sterilizes the queen. So what do you think happens when you get this on your hands? A lot of people use this stuff for fire ants, because what you do is you put these baits out, right? And these baits have endocrine disruptors in them, and what they do is they castrate the female from not being able to have babies. So maybe could it be possible that if you touch this stuff, and I know a lot of farmers that spray for all the fire ants and all these pests by using this stuff called Amdro, A-M-D-R-O, and like I said, it's supposedly supposed to kill the queen or sterilizer. They bring this food back to the queen and it makes her so she can't replicate. So this is common for cockroaches. We're going to show you a natural cockroach. Okay, look, see this solution right here? What a beauty, huh? So this is a solution we'll make in part 2, but I'm going to show you how to make a rodenticide, okay, and also cockroach remedy. How about for your car? You put these toxic baits in your car, you know what happens? They off-gas. Okay, they off-gas in the car. Your car's 110, 120 degrees with the windows shut, okay? This is what happens. You put these in your house. Okay, these are toxic. I see people using these on their counters, okay, because they got cockroaches, or in their cabinets. These are not really good to use, especially if you have children around. Shoot, me just touching the box, I gotta wash my hands just for a sec. I don't like touching any of that stuff. I know it's super toxic, so, you know, one of the things is that we don't understand is that toxicity in your products that you use in your house can be minimized. You can change the product to a less toxic one, and or, like I said, I'm going to show you how to use, push this out of the way, and roach killer. Kills on contact. Keeps killing for up to 6 weeks. Also kills spiders, fleas, and other listed insects Oh, hey, it's unscented. Either way, kills for 6 weeks. What kind of chemical is that can kill for 6 weeks? So we're going to use some natural poisons. This is the neem leaf, and you can buy neem oil too. And neem is a very potent poison for insects and for parasites inside our body too. So let's go over just the different recipes I'm going to make. I'm going to make a natural ant pesticide recipe where you can spray in your house. Okay, it's very simple to use, and I'll show you how to do that on this YouTube video here. Then we'll show you a soap and oil insecticide spray. So let's say you got aphids and you got different bugs crawling on your vegetable garden. How do you kill those? What are you going to do? Spray malathion on top of the plants you're going to eat? This is what people do. Okay, they go to Home Depot or someplace and they ask the guy over there that works at Home Depot, hey, what do I use? I got a bunch of aphids and I got a lot of these beetles on my plants. I got spider mites, whatever it is on your plants. They're eating your plants, right? Snails. I'm going to show you how to make a snail. Also a snail killer. Again, natural. What do you put on your garden? Okay, there's natural remedies. I'm going to show you that one. Okay, you can use diatomaceous earth or fossil shell flour. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use that and delouse your pillows. Okay, with fossil shell flour. Show you how to do it. You can do that with your beds. You can do that with your carpets, your sofas, fleas, chiggers, all small little bugs and insects that are in your carpet and everything. They don't like this stuff. Okay, we're going to show you also how to do an animal borax bath recipe for fleas and their eggs, okay, on your animals, your dogs, your cats, okay. A lot of animals have mites and different things, and they come in your house and they bring them in your house. So if you're going to treat your house, you have to treat your animals too. We're going to use also a natural boric acid solution for termites. I got termites, and I'm going to take you on a little trip to my other house over there. I'm going to show you what termites look like when they are in your cabinets. And what are we going to do? I can use the toxic termite spray, and I used it one time a couple years ago, and I felt sick for a couple of days. I put my gloves on and I sprayed it in the cabinets in there, but I could smell it. Just made me feel sick in the head for a couple of days. So we're going to use a very effective solution to get rid of these termites. And if you want to protect your wood, let's say you're building something new, we're going to show you how to go ahead and actually protect your wood too, so termites won't eat it later. So we're going to also do a natural cockroach and rodent pesticide recipe. Again, people are using a lot of different poisons outside, and it's not good to use any of those. Snail, slug, insect pesticide recipe for your garden too. You got snails eating your garden, okay? Eating everything up in your garden. How are you going to kill them? So, and of course kill them so it's non-toxic, because the last thing you want to do is toxify your garden. So, you know, toxicity is just about everywhere. And you got to really sort of look at this as, you know, you're the matriarch or the patriarch of your household. You're the one that buys a lot of products and you watch a lot of commercials, right? And sometimes we're programmed to go ahead and buy what we see. So with the solutions I'm going to show you, you shouldn't have to buy any chemical pesticides, insecticides, or even rodenticides. Why? Again, is because not only are they toxic to the environment, but they're super, super toxic to anybody who is going to go ahead and apply them and or live with them. So let's go ahead and start the first recipe. And the first recipe is for ants. And everybody once, well, in your lifetime, right? Or maybe once a year, you get an ant invasion in your house. It rains, right? And you got all these ants. Could be black ants, fire ants, soldier ants, whatever type of ants they are, okay? How do you kill them? What are you going to do? Spray them like it says on that one? Kills on contact? No, I want to go to the queen. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a borax and sugar solution. But let's go over our chief ingredients first, because what we're going to use on all the recipes that we're using here. Borax powder is the #1 simple over the counter. You use it for laundry detergent. You can clean your household with it. I use this in a variety of different potions that we make. You can put this in your alcohol for your skin cleaning. You can soak in this in your bathtub. I use this in my hot tub, so I don't have to use any chlorine or anything that basically is poison. So we're going to use borax as a poison for insects. And number 2 here is we're going to use this stuff here called boric acid. And boric acid, okay, is a very, very potent, okay, it is, you know, people say, is borax and boric acid the same? Well, not really. Boric acid is very strong in boron, okay, it's like 18% boron, and borax is about 11%. So which one's a better killer? Okay, these insects can't handle this stuff. Okay, and humans, if you take even a spoon of this stuff here, okay, and you can buy this over Amazon, I'll show you the links. Let's take a spoon of this stuff here, and it says that you can kill a child, kill your dog, okay, less than 5 grams of this stuff. So boric acid is the pure, it's called hydrogen or hydrogen borate, and this is called sodium tetraborate. So borax is good to use in your household pesticide and insecticide solutions, but once I go to the garden, I can only use boric acid because boric acid doesn't have any salt. Remember, this one's called borax, but it's called also sodium tetraborate. This is hydrogen, okay, borate. They're different. This is just hydrogen. It doesn't have any salt. This has about 12% content of salt. So you could use borax as, a weed killer because the plants don't like a lot of salt, right? So anyways, in the description, I want you to read. I put a lot of time in that so we can, you know, sort of learn a little deeper layer, not just doing these recipes, but actually learning a little bit about it so you know this stuff inside and out. You know, what's the difference between boric acid and borax? Okay, remember, I just told you, one has salt, one does not. You only use boric acid in the garden. And you can use boric acid, remember, instead of borax. It's a little more expensive, but this stuff is way more potent as a pesticide, insecticide, or even a rodenticide. And rodenticide, of course, just means the killing or the bait that you're going to use for mice and rats. Now, oxalic acid, same thing. You can buy this over the counter. This stuff works magic. It's a cleaning solvent. Now, oxalic acid, a lot of people, remember, are just learning about this in their diet. And if you're vegetarian or vegan, and I go into this in the description, okay, we're going to use oxalic acid, which is in a lot of plants, okay? Rhubarb, loaded full of oxalic acid. And a teaspoon of this stuff will kill you, okay? Less than 5 grams. Less than 5 grams will kill you. Less than 5 grams. I didn't make this up. I showed you the sites in the description. You can go ahead and read up on that. So they use these products here to kill coyotes and dogs. So you have to be very important. Just because these are over the counter, I'm showing you how to make these, doesn't mean these poisons will not hurt a bird that eats it, right? A cat that eats it. So you have to be very careful. So we're going to do on part 2, I'm going to show you some of the more powerful recipes, is because it's too sensitive for YouTube. But I'm going to show you several of them here for YouTube, just so you could go ahead, the simple ones that are less dangerous. Remember, everything here is a poison. Even salt is a poison when you concentrate it. Okay, so remember, it's the dilution or the concentration that makes the poison. It's the dose that makes the poison. So oxalic acid is in curly kale. It's in, cacao. It's in a ton of plants. Rhubarb, beets. Okay, look it up and see. Sesame, all the seed oils. Okay, these are plant defense mechanisms. These are from the plants. So the oxalic acid is from the plants. And it is one of the what's called defense mechanisms, or one of the poisons that the plants produce. This is why a lot of, like I said, vegans and vegetarians will go ahead and get poisoned by taking too much oxalic acid in. Oxalic acid mixed with calcium will make calcium oxalates, will give you kidney stones, gallstones, arteriosclerosis, atherosclerosis, and a lot of different problems. So we've gone on many videos about that, but we're going to use a product that is produced in your plants, oxalic acid. And this is a bleacher of wood. I mean, the best cleaner in the world, but it's also a potent killer. The borax, remember, this is just an earth mineral. This is just dug out of the ground. It's 99% pure. And boric acid is, they do a treatment with the borax to be able to take the salt out and make a pure boric acid. Now, boric acid we use on all our plants here. If you want your garden to grow strong, you can just take boric acid and spray it on the roots. You can spray it on the plants. Anything that eats the boric acid will kill it insect-wise, right? But it will feed the plants, not only through the leaves when you spray it on it, foliar feeding, but it will go ahead and feed the plant, because boron makes not only us strong, we all need boron, okay? But if you take too much of something, of anything, right, too much salt will kill you. So, yeah, let's go ahead and start the natural ant pesticide. So, on this one here, I'm going to go ahead and use, this is neem, and this is a tree that you can grow yourself. You can buy neem oil also, but if I bite this, and you can see, let me just show the camera here really good, beautiful plant, and there's not a bite on these leaves. So anything that eats neem dies, just so you know. So if you're going to use this in your potions, you have to know that anything, including butterflies, crickets, anything that eats, bees, okay, you're spraying it on the flowers, right? So you have to be very careful when you use neem, but neem is a very potent poison. Remember, it comes from plants. You could disinfect water with this. You could use this on different types of wounds. I make a tea, a neem tea, that I drink very small amounts of, okay? It's a good parasitic tea for a lot of people that get the flu or different infections. So the best thing to do is grow a tree. I've got 3 different species here. So I'm going to go over to the other camera here, because I'm going to get this here going, because this is for one of our other recipes. So I've boiled some water. I got about 30 ounces of water right here. And you can get a close-up here of the neem. Like I said, not one bug has chewed a hole through these leaves. And this stuff, what does it taste like? Oh, bitter. Okay? Remember, the poison is bitter. And this is why we're going to use sugar with most of our solutions here. Remember, a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, right? Remember that song, Julie Andrews, I think 1964? Okay, a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, the medicine go down, makes the medicine go down, okay? And this stuff, nothing will eat it. If you spray it on it, it'll kill it, right? Because it's basically poison. But if it eats it, like I said, if anything eats this, I'm talking about even rats or anything. If you concentrate this and put this in like we're going to make a certain rodenticide. So anyways, I just wanted to show you, you could go ahead and take a bath with these. You could boil this water and put this in your bathtub too, for a lot of people that have certain types of fungus. So I'm just going to put the neem leaves in here, and I'm going to put this on a slow simmer. I've already heated up the water, and let's just let that sort of simmer. You want to simmer this for probably about 15-20 minutes, and then we're going to use this solution to potentize some of the other recipes if you want to. You could just use this by itself. Remember, there's many different poisons that kill insects. So I'm just showing you a variety of different things that you can figure out your own recipes you want. I know these work because they're real simple, but you can try anything you want. Remember, the dose is the poison. Just remember that. Okay, let's go back over here. All right, give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Star of the show. Okay, so what I'm going to do, a sip of water. The natural ant pesticide recipe kills a lot of different types of insects. Okay, it even kills termites, pretty much any ant. Anything that's going to eat the solution, it's going to kill. Cockroaches, anything, like I said, that will eat the liquid sugar poison. So the main ingredient we're going to use in this one, you could use boric acid if you want to. Remember, boric acid, this is about probably 20 bucks for 2 pounds. Maybe it was $13 delivered, Amazon, right? But you can buy this big, what does this say? 10-pound bag, and I paid about maybe $11 for this, like $1 a pound. So the borax, what we're going to do, I'm going to take about 16 ounces of water. You don't have to use that much water. The more, again, diluted the solution is, the less powerful the solution is. So let's go ahead and fill this up to, let's see, let's put like 20 ounces. 20 ounces of ant spray is a lot. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make this a little powerful because I'm going to go around my house anyways on the outside, and I'll show you guys later. So I'm going to make myself like 25 ounces. And it's best to go ahead and use a little warm water because a lot of the stuff we're putting in, it melts better. And I wanted to show you this. I made a solution here last week, but you can see on the bottom of this, the boron, I poured it in and the water was cold and it hardened up on the bottom. So this is why you want to use warm water with the borax, just because it'll harden up like that. So I like to heat up the water just a little bit before we add any of the borax. Okay, so let's find. So on this one here, make a simple solution. We're going to use a 1/4 cup of borax and I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of sugar. Okay, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Very simple. Okay, 1/4 cup right there. So let's put this in here, and I want to sprinkle this in sort of slow. Best way to do it is sort of move the water so the borax doesn't want to go ahead and harden up. It will melt, but it's good to put it in with warm water. I didn't put warm water in here, so that's why I'm making sure it doesn't stick at the bottom. And just put a little bit at a time. You wanna help? Here, you want a cookie? An organic cookie? There you go. How about that? Okay, now remember the song again. We need to put a spoonful of sugar to make the medicine go down, because nothing's going to eat this. If you sprayed this on top of ants, it'll kill them. But we want these ants to take this solution back to the queen, right? We want the other ants to feed, okay, the mama this solution, because we want to get rid of the queen. So on here now we're going to do a 1/4 cup of sugar. And you can use the junkiest white sugar, whatever you got, doesn't matter. Sugar's sugar. Remember, white sugar's poison. 1/4 cup. You eat too much sugar, what does it do? Remember, doses the potent of the poison. You eat this whole box of sugar, a lot of people, hey, you can have a lot of problems with that, right? How's that cookie? And I can hear them grinding. Okay, so this is a simple solution. It's all you got to do. Now, what I like to do, because I only put borax in here and sugar. So let's shake it up. Make sure everything. And I want to taste this stuff. Remember, this is a natural pesticide. Sweet enough. I just wanted to make sure it's sweet enough. Tastes like plastic in there though. But otherwise the solution I dropped to here and there, I'm just getting a little bit of boron is all I'm doing with a little bit of sugar, right? You can look up in the description, I'll put a lot of articles and different things you may want to look at, but read up on the borax conspiracy. That's a good one for you to read. You can use, I've used it many years before I figured out other ways to get boron. I used to use 1/8 of a teaspoon of borax in 16 ounces of water so I can get my boron, right? Okay, so simple recipe, done. Let's put this back over here. next recipe. Okay, and the way you want to do this, well, let's just go ahead and go, look, you spray this in cracks, crevices, you'd spray this in the back. I'm going to go over how to use these on another part of the video, but the other part of the video will be on Earther Academy, because I don't really like to show anybody a lot of things on YouTube, and a lot of the different recipes that we're using right now, they're more potent, and so this is a simple, you know, borax and sugar, great. And you can use this also, let's say you want to not really spray this around, right? Because you don't want to get the sticky stuff, whatever, because it's got sugar in it. I can feel it in my fingers, it's sticky. So what I do right here is I got some cotton swabs, and these cotton swabs, I'm just going to fill with water like this, and just let them soak in there. And so the ants will go ahead and eat this, and they will bring back the food to their mama. And that's it. And then I'd spray a little bit around it just to bait them in, right? And this is the bait. It's sugar and borax. And if you wanted to use a more potent, okay, you would use the boric acid. And it would be way more potent. But the borax kills it. Like I said, don't waste the boric acid. We're going to show you how to use that on other recipes. Okay, so that's very easy to use. Outside, let's say around the perimeter of your house, spray it in all the cracks. They will eat it. It's not going to kill them right away, okay? Like the other one says kills on contact. This is going to kill them probably in 3 to 5 days, maybe less. But you want it to go ahead and have them go back to the queen and feed the queen, because remember, the queen's kicking out thousands and thousands of eggs every hour, making a whole new colony of warriors, right, to go ahead and come into your kitchen again. So next we're going to do is, let's say now, so basically like this, look, I'm going to put it on my counter. If I had ants over here, I'd put it back there. Oh, look at this. Picked a pineapple out of the garden here, and this is a mini pineapple, as they call it here, but this is more of the non-hybridized huge pineapples, and this is a white pineapple, and it takes about 9 months to make a pineapple, okay? And you never throw out the top of the pineapple in Hawaii. You crack the top off, right? Take off the bottom, maybe 3 or 4 layers of these leaves, and you can put this in water for like maybe a month. It'll start making roots, or just put it right in the ground, and in 1 year you'll get another pineapple. Not only will that plant keep on living that made this fruit, right, it'll make 2 or 3 or 4 babies. So the pineapples really grow good here in Hawaii. And I mean, the smell of a real pineapple, that is just, it's putting out like a perfume. But anyways, I just wanted to show you it out of the garden. What a beautiful thing to be able to grow some of your own food. And it is a blessing. Once a year, we get pineapples here. Okay, so the soap and oil insect spray, okay, this is an insecticide. This is going to kill the bugs by suffocating them, okay? This will kill aphids, mites, spiders, small beetles, mold, fungus, and suffocate the eggs. So when you put this on your plants, it's not going to hurt your plants, right? All it's going to do is it's going to kill the bugs. So now I told you before, would you want to use borax and spray this on your plants that you're going to eat? No. Why? Remember, it's got salt in it, and the borax will kill your plants because it has 13% salt. So we're going to use boric acid, and boric acid is saltless. It has 0 salt in it, and it's loaded full of boron, so it kills the bugs, because we're going to use soap in this and a little bit of boron now, or borax. Now, all you got to do just to use this one here, you can just use 2 to 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil and 32 ounces of water, and that's it. And 1 teaspoon of I like to use, if you're gonna make this, let's say for killing aphids or whatever you have on your garden, you're going to eat those plants, then I would use a Dr. Bronner's or something that doesn't have a scent in it. You don't want to use anything, but if you're going to maybe put it on maybe one of your flower beds, or maybe one of your trees that have molds on it and things like that, then Dawn works really good. I don't use this stuff in the house because it's got a bunch of fragrances and chemicals, whatever's in it. But this works a lot more effective. This soap sticks to the mold better. It suffocates everything that touches to it. But I'm not going to spray this on my garden. This one here, the blue, as you can see it. I don't even like to wash my hands with that stuff. You can smell the fragrance on it. You can smell the chemicals that are in here. So anyways, I use a Dr. Bronner. So since we're going to use this on the garden, I'm going to put in about a teaspoon of soap. And let's see where our water is. Let's just put some water in here. So I'm going to put in maybe, and this lasts forever, so it's not like it's going to go ahead and expire. So let's go ahead and fill this up with about 30 ounces of water. Okay, so this is your basic solution. It's just spraying soap on your plants. You don't need to spray pesticides, insecticides, or chemicals, just soap and water. Shake it up, and this works. If you want to get more potent killing power, then what are you going to add to it? Boric acid. And how much would I put in? About a teaspoon. Okay, so this is a very potent insect killer on your plants that are in your garden that you're going to eat, right? So now let's say we don't have boric acid, because remember, you can do a lot of different things. What are you going to use? You're going to use, instead, you could take 2 cloves of garlic, squeeze the oil out of those, because garlic's a poison too, and put it in this solution with the soap. You're just adding it to it. What about another poison you could use? You could get, again, neem oil. But neem oil, okay, is expensive. And if you have a tree, neem tree, very easy. You can buy them at the store there, put it in the ground there, and you got yourself a medicine plant, right? Instead of just growing just a plant that doesn't give you any medicine. But most of the plants do have medicine, just got to figure out how to use them. But the neem tree is universal. Okay, super universal as a plant poison and a poison for different parasites that we use in our body. So we're going to use, instead of the liquid, right? We put in water. I'm going to use the neem solution over there. So without me, let's go check out the neem solution. Okay, so you know it's pretty much done is when, let's see if you can see that. See the water in there? I don't know if I can't bend it as much as you need to see. Maybe you can there. There you go. So the water is greenish. That's the poison. So we've taken, you know, the green, the little chlorophyll out of there, but that water is bitter, super bitter. So what am I going to do? I would mix this water instead of using the tap water. Okay, and this would be a potent poison. You could also use this as a tea too for a lot of people. They use this in the Amazon to treat a lot of different types of sicknesses, is by using a variety of different plants, and they use it in different teas. So I just went ahead and did a video on how to make a two natural forms of quinine. And we're going to use the cinchona bark and also grapefruits, but that's a good video for you to see. You know, also we did a good video on hand sanitizers. So, you know, everybody's using these toxic hand sanitizers, and all we're trying to do is lower our basis of toxicity. Every time you go to the store, right, what do they ask you to do? Use their toxic hand sanitizer. Make your own, bring it, and just say, I got my own. It's alcohol, okay? It's got fragrances in here. And remember, what kind of alcohol? Not isopropyl alcohol, that's toxic. It's got vodka. So watch that video and you'll be able to see how to make this. It takes like 2 minutes to make. Poof, smells really good. And forget about, you know, you having to do this at a restaurant. You know, they make you do it, right? Any business, they make you go in and wash your hands, okay, with their toxic hand sanitizer. So, you know, I keep this in my car camping, or if I'm out somewhere and I want to use my, you know, hands to eat something or whatever, I just do my super simple cleaning. And it's got castor bean oil in here and everything, so basically it doesn't just dry my hands out like the other hand sanitizers do. So watch that video. And then if you haven't seen the videos on fermentation, I made this ferment. These are lychee. We have pulled about over 100,000 pounds of lychee this year. And, you know, this is one of the good departments at Earther Academy for you to learn is how to make live fermented fruits, vegetables, okay? These are super good to be able to help heal your gut. And this smells like pretty high level alcohol in here. I'm gonna have a little flavor. Whew. That's about a week old. That's strong vinegar. Anyways, what you can do is add water to it. You can add more sugar to it, whatever. Okay, but that's one of the most healthiest ways to be able to make you know, your gut start working better again, is to ferment your foods before you eat them, so you could bioavailably get out all of the nutrients. You can get the vitamin C out. You can get rid of the phytic acid, which is very destructive to the body. Anyways, fermentation is something that we want to look into. Now, like I said, if you want to use this in the garden, soap and water is all you need to kill most of the bugs. You're just going to spray them, just spray the whole garden. If you want to use boric acid, if you use boric acid and add to this, that now not only will kill the bugs, but you're going to feed your garden, because the boric acid is loaded 18% full of boron, and boron is what makes the plants really strong and grow really big. So a lot of guys that are making, growing cannabis and stuff like that, these are the different things that you'd want to spray in the roots. A lot of little mites that grow into the soil, the nematodes and stuff like that, and it gets rid of them. And plus it feeds the plant at the same time. Again, never use borax on your plants. So the next thing I wanted to show you guys is how to get the fleas out of your dog. I see so many people using the dog collar, right? The flea collar on cats, dogs, just, I mean, I see people spraying their birds, okay, with toxic pesticides because they got mites. You know, borax in water with sodium bicarbonate will kill the fleas of anything that's in your dog. Not just flea eggs, but mites, okay? All different types of mold that's in the skin. A lot of dogs smell. Okay, so what do? Depending on what side, let's say you have a dog like a Jack Russell. You warm up about maybe 3 gallons of water, right? Put some Dr. Bronner's in there, soap it up, because the soap will also go ahead and help kill a lot of stuff. But the big thing you want to add now is you want to add a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup of borax. Just add it into the warm water, right, with the soap. You don't even have to use soap if you don't want to, but the soap's good because it actually helps. You can clean off all the oil first on the dog, and the borax can go ahead and get in a little deeper. So I use a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup, depending on how big your dog is, of borax, and a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup of baking soda. Ugh. And I got this one at Costco. It's like $7 for 13.5 pounds. And we use this same baking soda, and that's sodium bicarbonate. Remember, this could be used for cleaning your house, putting in your vodka cleaning solution. If you don't know how to clean your skin, and put all the solutions in there, watch the skin cleaning protocols, detoxification protocols that we have. So sodium bicarbonate, okay, you can put this in your laundry. I put in about a cup of this, a big scoop of this every time I do my laundry. This helps whiten everything and gets rid of the mold. Okay, borax and sodium bicarbonate are high alkaline. Borax is about a 9.5 pH, super high pH, and these bugs don't like this. So anyways, we put in Jack Russell size. I'll put in like a 1/2 cup of each. You can, on a bigger dog, you can put in a full cup if you'd like, you know, if they got a real bad infestation. And we go ahead and make sure they don't drink anything, because remember, the borax, if the dog eats 5 grams of borax, it can kill them really easy. If the dog eats 5 grams of any of these poisons we're using, okay, boric acid or anything else, it can kill them. So let it sit on them, rub it in their bodies, their tail, in, you know, their ears, keep it on them for, you know, around their face and stuff like that for 15, 20 minutes. And then just wash them off under the sink with warm water, and then get some coconut oil, and then try to put it back into their, you know, into their fur, just to go ahead so they're not so dry. So that's real simple with that. Now I'm going to show you one last one here for YouTube, and then we're going to get into the more potent recipes for termites, snails, slugs, mice, and rats. And like I said, this recipe here, you can see, that's some pretty, look, I can hold the whole bowl up pretty much. And this potent recipe here is good to use inside your car, because a lot of people have cockroaches in their car, and they put, like I said, they put all these toxic things in their car to try to kill them. Okay, you got cockroaches in your house. What are you going to do? Use this stuff and spray this stuff all over the place? Okay, no. Does this smell at all? No, it just smells like peanut butter, right? Because I got a good recipe for these guys to eat this bitter stuff. Okay, let me get rid of the cutting board here. So now we're going to show you how to use diatomaceous earth, or what's called fossil shell flour. Remember, this is not a pesticide, but what this does is this irritates the bugs enough with this powder. Fossil shell flour powder, or it's called diatomaceous earth. They're the same thing. And I use this for internal use for parasites. Watch our videos on that. And I also use this in my alcohol scrub solution for my skin. This is a very fine powder. And the powder's made out of silica. And these are like fossilized animals, and they're ground down to a super fine powder. And you can see, and you don't want to breathe that powder at all. You don't want to breathe. There are recommendations, like I said, read the description here. You do not want to breathe boric acid. You do not want to breathe anything. Borax gets in your eyes and everything. You can irritate them because it's high pH, 9.5, right? But the fossil shell flour is excellent to be able to get rid of fleas in your house, okay, in your carpet, mites in your pillows. You can wash your pillows really good first, right? You can put borax in your laundry detergent cycle, sodium bicarbonate, and we did a good video on non-toxic laundry too. Let me show you how I do mine. I have an ozone machine hooked on mine, and I show you different non-toxic ingredients how to use. But once you cleaned your pillows, or let's say you have new pillows, if you have new pillows, if they're not organic, put them out in the sun for a day. Flip them over, let them off gas, because they have a lot of same with mattresses or anything. But what I like to do, okay, and on your mattress you should have a mite cover so you don't have to do this. But on your pillows, I don't like to use a cover. One of the dust mite covers, is because it makes the pillow really hard. What's up, Hodo? So what I do is I use 2 pillowcases. So let me take this pillow apart here. And I put one going one way and one going the other way. So this is my, for dust mites. This is for bugs that would get in my pillow. This is so you don't get drool stains and all weird stuff on your pillow either. Okay, these are organic pillows. I got them at Costco. But if I want to make this so I can never get, because mites are everywhere. If you've got an animal, you got tons of mites in your house. So you would sprinkle some of this very fine powder. And again, the last thing you want to do is breathe this stuff. You can put one of those masks on, right, for the cornholio virus. And you just put this on just like this. And you just lightly put it on. And you do a little better job than this. I'm just doing the quick job here. And you don't need that much. You can see I'm just putting just a little sprinkle on everywhere. And you do the same in your carpet. And you can get a little sprayer. I'll put this in the description notes. you use this little air sprayer, you fill it up, and you can spray it into your cabinets. You can spray it into cracks and crevices where you know where spiders or bugs or anything, basically cockroaches. And what this stuff does, it's really sharp. Even though when I put some in my hand, I can't feel it at all. It's the finest, finest powder. But if you look at it under a microscope, it's got very sharp, shrouded edges. And this dries out the exoskeleton, the lipids of in the exoskeleton, right? It's made out of chitin, a cartilage. And so this sharp stuff, what it does is it starts itching these things, and they start basically dehydrating. And they start itching their body if they're cockroaches, and they go over to their buddies and itch them, right? And everybody's itching each other because this stuff itches like crazy. It's not going to itch on you at all. But again, you don't want to breathe this stuff because this is silicon dust particles. You're not going to break this down if you swallow it. So what I do is just be real careful here. And now I'm going to put my pillowcases back on. I don't put the diatomaceous earth on my pillowcases. So I'm going to use 2 because the last thing I want to do is when I'm using my pillowcase, right, is to breathe any of this stuff in. So you don't put that much on, and this is super effective. You can use borax and just put it in a spray bottle. Put in maybe a couple tablespoons and maybe 6 ounces of water, right? Even 8 ounces of water. And then take your spray bottle, put it on mist, and just spray your pillows. So I'm just trying not to go ahead and put this stuff in the air. And it's good to do it outside. I don't want to get this on me, but it looks like it's going to. If not, let's get this in here. This pillowcase is too tight for this pillow. Okay, so we got it that way, and then that's the opening, so I'm going to flip it around. So this is going to be easier to put it on this one. This is a bigger pillowcase. And so what I do is use 2. And the diatomaceous earth's not going to come through now. 1 pillowcase, it'll come through, and that's the last thing you want to do is breathe this in the middle of the night, right? Okay. That's one way that you could go ahead and make sure that you don't accumulate a bunch of bugs in your bed. Okay, a lot of people have all these bugs on their couch. Okay, sprinkle the stuff on your couch, let it sit there for 3 or 4 or 5 days, okay, in your carpet, and then you could vacuum it up. Put on a respirator though, you know, like a little N95 or something like that. Everybody's got one now, just so you don't breathe any of this stuff up. Okay, so that's all we're going to do for YouTube. Like I said, I'm going to go over the heavier, potent recipes, which will be the termite recipe that we're going to show you how to make. It was super effective. Never use that termite stuff in your house. That stuff is super, super, super toxic. Very toxic. And we're going to go over the natural cockroach and rodenticide, okay, recipe, and also a snail, slug, and insect pesticide that you could go ahead and use. Remember, because snail and slugs are a big thing, and that's a big problem that used to be in my garden. So anyways, you want to say anything, Hodo? Come here. Come say goodbye. Okay, he's my man. He hangs with me all day, and he's so good. Anyways, he's been in family since I've been 15 years old. So I'm 60 years old, right? So he's the same age as me. He's about 60 years old too. So he's been in the family for 45 years. So brought him from California with his 2 buddies, 2 blue and golds I have too. And they're my buddies. And you can see they gave me a few feathers this morning. Look at these things. They're starting to molt right now. So look at these fancy, fancy feathers. Look at the colors on those things there. That one's Hody's right there, the red one. And these are the blue and gold, as you can see. And Hody's got a little more red, but he's also got the blue in there. Right, Hodo? Okay. Okay, guys, we'll see you on part 2. Use these, you know, smartly. And make sure that you mark the bottles, like you can see on this one here. Soap and oil spray insecticide. Okay? I want to make sure it says insecticide on there, so, because I can't put the skull and crossbones, I could, but this one says borax and sugar ant pesticide, and it's sort of sticky, like I said. And these are, I mean, I've used these for years, and I went out to the store just to, like I said, to buy these things, and I used to use these a long time ago, and they do work, but they're putting poison in your house, in the air. They off gas. They're not good, so don't use them. Okay, guys. Oh, one thing I forgot to do with the soap. Soap and oil spray. We put the soap in, right? We put the water. Soap and water works just as good, but I didn't add the oil. So this is just cheap oil. You can use any oil you want. This is just Wesson oil. We use this for our ant spraying. So I'm going to put in like 3 tablespoons. This is to add to the soap and oil spray. You can just use soap by itself, like I said, and that works fine. But if you want to make it so it sticks to the plant, the soap will stick pretty decent, but a lot of the farmers, they've showed me, using a sticker, and a sticker is using the oil. So the oil sticks to the plant, and so that anything that's going to go into this stuff is going to wind up killing it. You can add even a little bit of sugar to this, right? And spray it on the plants. Let them eat it. Let them be attracted to it. So anyways, there we go. Forgot the oil in there. But soap and water, just alone, spraying on your plants like that, if you have aphids and stuff, that's fine. Like I said, you can go ahead and beef it up with neem oil, clove oil, just adding a little bit of vegetable oil, sticky stuff, the sugar. And you can add more sugar, doesn't matter. The more sugar, the merrier. So I know that a 1-to-1 ratio pretty much works good for just about all these bitters. Okay, we will see you on part 2. Aloha. Say goodbye. Show me your wings, Hodo. Show me your wings. There you go. Star of the show. Show me. Give me a little wing. There you go. Whoa, perfect. All right, there he is. Aloha.